When it comes to skills, I have a few problems when I see them listed out on CVs. It's very tempting to have those keywords up there in a particular section. A lot of CV designers put in a section for skills and individuals therefore start filling them in. I don't know how useful this is. In many cases, I think it's next to useless. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here is my generic CV and I've added in some skills. Here we go. Now, sometimes I see it like this. Sometimes I see it like that, right? So it's literally a list like this. And I despair. Now, why I despair is because when I see a list like this, what am I meant to do with it? It's a little bit like having a massive long summary, okay, that's saying how amazing you are, but you've just clearly written it, right, with no evidence, right? Extremely hardworking, passionate, okay. The issue I've got is what am I meant to do with it? So when I see this, I think, right, yeah. And one of the risks is I look at networking and think, okay, yeah. I look at analytical listening, all right, or adaptability, yeah. But what am I meant to do with it? So the risk is what I do is just read on, or don't read it. Sometimes I see skills, right, and I will say, oh, please just put that at the end if you have to have it. And people want them in there because they want the keywords, right? They say, oh, no, we've got to have the keywords. I said, well, wait. Why haven't you got keywords? Can't we put them in here in your experience? Okay, can't we have the keywords here, right? Or in the document? And that's usually how we'll negotiate, right? Because the individual goes, no, I have to have skills. I've got to have skills. All right, okay, yeah. Look, there's no right answer. I don't want to see a whole list of skills. I want to know what you're doing with them, right? I want to know the background, the detail. Often we'll see data analysis. Yeah. Okay, what did you do? How did you use it? And in some cases, and then I'm looking through, trying to find in the CV, and you can see the candidate when I'm doing a one-to-one, you can see them going, oh, I'm beginning to get, yeah, because it's a data analyst role. You said your skill is data analysis. I'm then looking, your skill says it right at the top of the page, okay? Now I'm looking, and I can't find any mention of what you've done with data analysis, and that's the job. And you can see the candidate going, yeah, okay, right. So you listing it doesn't make it right, doesn't help me, okay? Just saying you do data analysis, well, what is that? So what I would like to suggest, if you must have it, if you want to have skills, right? And I know it can look good and people want it, fine. Have skills, but can you stick them at the end of the CV? And can you religiously go through those skills? And then make sure they're represented in the bit that matters, that I think really matters. So this is just my view, as I say in almost every video here, it's my view, okay? I feel compelled to say this because there's other perspectives, right? It's okay to have a skills section, but make sure that the skills are explained somewhere. And then worse is when I'm looking and I'm challenging people on this whole skills section, on the need for it. I then say, great, okay, so we've got SQL scripting here as a really important bullet point. Yes, that's a great skill. Yes, says the candidate. It's not in you. Why is it not listed then? They go, oh, right, yeah, okay, add that in. And then what I start doing is going through everything and say, well, Microsoft SQL Manager Lite, okay, that's a skill. Oh yeah, and then before you know it, you got pages of this stuff. So how is it helping you? Give some thought to that. It's not wrong. This is one of those emotive areas that I have quite a strong opinion, I think, as you can see, that I don't know if it's helpful. I think it's more helpful to list this. I'd much rather see your skills listed like this. So you're explaining it. I think that's more valuable. But give some thought to that. Again, there isn't necessarily a right or a wrong answer here. I just wanted to highlight how are you using skills. Now, the other aspect here, the other thing to do, I'd like to say is, again, ChatGPT is your friend here, right? Or equivalent. Throw your existing skills in to them and say, what other ones should I be listing? Okay, again, it's a great way of getting other inspiration inspiration on how you should be or you could be laying out your CV with other bullet points. Now, yes, you can expand your skills section, but don't forget to explain them, right? So that's where ChatGPT, Claude, etc. can be really helpful, because they can say, oh, any kind of profile, any kind of job spec for data analysis should have the following skills, right? Very helpful. It's really useful on coming up with the correct skills. Because, for example, I added one there down the bottom called networking. What does networking, do you mean networking in being able to meet people, say hello, create relationships? Or do you mean plugging, right, networking connectivity for servers, right? Well, what do you mean? So sometimes you can have these skills make sense to you when you're writing them, but can be misinterpreted as well. So that's why I like to see them explained. Just my perspective, guys. Let's move on. Okay. Right, let's move on.